What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is The Bull, and today we're gonna be talking about the top 3 things that I've learned in my journey over the last 3 years of doing $50 million in sales in my businesses. So here they are.
They picking sides, they crossing the line. I stick to the truth, I'm one of a kind. Gave it a God and follow his signs.
The number one thing I learned in my journey to make $50 million is the details don't matter as much as you think they do. And I know I'm gonna get all these people on here commenting, saying, "Oh, what the hell are you talking about? Details matter." Listen to me, just hear me out, okay? Before you go crazy in that comment section, just hear me out because I've been there, I've done that, and I'm gonna tell you one thing. The details don't matter nearly as much as you think they do. The principles are what are the most important thing. We get so caught up in our A/B testing. We get so caught up in having the perfect headline, the perfect copy. We get so caught up in making everything look perfect that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter nearly as much as you think it does. What matters is consistency. What matters is output. What matters is just going on the basic principles and understanding the principles of marketing and sales and leading your team. If you understand those things, that's the most important thing at the end of the day. Because the guy who has a shitty sign and he's holding it up begging for money is gonna beat the guy who has no sign, who's trying to make the perfect sign every time. So just putting your message out there and being consistently putting your message out there is not gonna matter. People wonder about how these marketing companies will have such a miraculous marketing campaign when they do a simplistic, effort on their funnels or whatever. I don't know if you've ever seen that before. Taking a look at one of these companies comes out with a very simple funnel with barely any words on it. They think, wow, how do they do that? It's because we overcomplicate things. It's in our nature. We overcomplicate everything we want to do because we want it to be perfect before we start. Listen, YouTube, Apple, Google, Amazon, they're all big corporations and they're all constantly fixated on trying to make it better and better. That's the thing, is they're trying to make their stuff better. So you need to get over the fact that it's never gonna be perfect and just start putting out your message, start putting out your brand, start putting out the marketing material. Stop waiting on trying to make it perfect because you'll never make it perfect. The details don't matter nearly as much as you think they do. Now, I'm saying you still need to learn details and it does help, but it's not the most important thing. It might be 10% of your total performance. If you want to get to a high level, just take massive action, and that alone will set you apart from your competition. By just taking the action that they're not willing to do, that's going to set you apart. Here's the second thing I learned in my journey to make $50 million at the age of 26, is what you fear most is most likely the thing that you most need to do. Let me say that again so you really understand. What you fear most is the number one thing that's holding you back from the next level. You have to understand this. You have to look at your fears as if that is the target that you have to overcome in order to get where you want to be. So if it's some form of work, if it's difficult, or if it's you don't want to put yourself out there, if it's your face you want to put out there, whatever it is, that piece of resistance, you need to understand that is the resistance that you're meeting. That is literally the thing you have to overcome to go to the next level. That's all it is. In order to figure out what's next, find what you're most scared of. If it's putting on a bigger event, if it's just putting out marketing material, spending more money. What's crazy is a lot of times in business, we get so scared of spending more money because we get afraid. Oh, I made all this money, now I want to keep it. That's the last thing you should do. You should constantly be pushing yourself, constantly be pushing through your fears and analyzing and saying, what are my fears? What do I fear most? And now you know exactly what it is you have to overcome. All you need is a little courage and confidence and just a little coaching, and you could push through that and you'll be shocked at the levels you'll hit and how quickly you hit them. The only difference I feel of me at 26 and someone else at 26 is I was willing to do what they were not willing to do because I recognized what I was afraid of and what was holding me back, and I was willing to push through it, whereas they were trying to come up with the perfect strategy to get around it. It's never gonna happen. Find what you're most afraid of, and that's your point of resistance. Here's the third thing I learned in my journey to make $50 million in sales by the age of 26, and that is bigger is better. Listen, 3 inches, you're fine. I get you, bro. But at the end of the day, bigger is always better. The bigger you go, I know what you guys are saying. Just hear me out. The bigger you go, the better it's gonna be. If you try to play small in business, then you're gonna get small results. And nowadays, everyone's competing for your attention. You're literally competing with what's happening on Twitter, what's happening on Fox News, what's happening from that other influencer. You're competing for other people's attention. And the only thing that's gonna capture their attention is if you do things that's gonna get them to talk about you. If you're gonna do something that has a shock and awe factor, this holy cow, and now they're talking about you because they recognize it. You've done something that forces them to acknowledge and recognize you. That's the key, is if you're sitting here wondering, man, I'm really putting out all this content, I'm really just working my ass off in this business and I'm just trying to stay consistent, but I'm not doing anything, it's just not getting any traction. Yeah, no duh, because you have to go bigger, you have to go better, and that is how you're gonna get to the next level. Bigger is better in business. The more, and this is the principle, he who can spend the most to acquire a customer wins. So really, the more money you can spend, the more money you'll make. It's this perfect correlation in business, and honestly, in wealth in general. The more money you can spend in the right ways, the more money you're gonna make. So spend as much money as you possibly can, learning and growing and doing big things in your business, and you will capture a lot of attention and you will grow very, very quickly, especially with how viral things can happen. All it takes is for 10 people to start sharing it, and then another 10 people start sharing it, and if you just do the math on what happens when you double every single time, when it spreads through the network of social media, your things can go viral very quickly. Your business can spread like wildfire. You just have to be prepared to handle that kind of virality. So go bigger, do more, and do the things that scare you, and that's how you can get to this level. All right, y'all, listen, if you like this and you want to hear more of this, comment down below. Let me know what you didn't like. Let me know what you like, and then I'll battle you for that answer because I don't give a shit what you say. But comment down below, like, and subscribe if you want to hear more of this because I'm putting out more content whether you like it or not. Peace.